You could have £500,000 sitting in your company right now and still retire with less monthly income than you were expecting. Not because you did anything wrong, because of how money is structured. Now, most directors I sit with have worked hard for decades. The company is profitable, there's cash in the business, there may even be a pension somewhere, though not always well looked after. And when retirement comes up in the conversation, the assumption is usually the same. I've done well, I'll be fine. And you may not realise that the wealth sitting inside your limited company and the income you can actually draw from it in retirement are two very different things. So here's the assumption that most directors make. If there's money in the business, I can get it when I need it. And that's true. You can get to it, but how you get to it and when and in what order, that changes how much of it you actually get to keep. And it changes how much tax may apply along the way. Company is not the same as a pension. It's not usually structured primarily to provide retirement income. It's structured to run a business. The full new state pension in 2026-27 pays £12,548 a year. Money held inside a pension, including contributions made through the company, may offer certain tax advantages during the accumulation phase. Now, for some directors, pension planning may form part of a more tax-efficient retirement strategy. That depends on the company, the individual circumstances, contribution limits, and the wider plan. For some directors, the pension has been underfunded for years or not set up at all. So here's what tends to happen. A director reaches 60, 63, 65, the business is winding down or being sold, and it's only at that point when the decisions are made that the full picture becomes clear. The money is there, but extracting it efficiently at the right time in the right order, using the right tax wrappers, that's not a conversation you want to be having for the first time at the point of retirement. Because the decisions you make in the final 2 or 3 years before you stop working can have a material impact on what you actually receive. So let me put it another way. 2 directors, same company value, same pot of money, different planning. One retires comfortably, one is surprised by the tax bill. The businesses were identical. The outcome was not. Here's the figure that stays with people. The average length of retirement in the UK is now being modelled at 30 years for couples because at least one partner is likely to reach their 90s. 30 years. That's a long time to fund from a pot that was never specifically structured for income. Purely as an illustration, and this is not a recommendation, 500,000 drawn at 4% a year would produce £20,000 a year before tax and before any allowance for charges, inflation or investment performance. Add the full new state pension and the gross figure is around 32,500. That is close to the Pension and Lifetime Saving Association's moderate retirement figure for a single person, but only as a broad illustration. But the outcome may look very different depending on how the money is accessed, how tax applies, and whether the structure was considered before the decision was made. And this is not a reason to panic, it's a reason to look at the picture clearly, ideally well before you need to. The questions worth asking are straightforward. How is the money currently held? Inside the company, inside a pension, or both? What might be an appropriate order to draw from each source, taking tax and timing into account? And is the pension where it should be, given how close retirement may be? Now, none of these questions require an instant decision, but they do require clarity. So for company directors, it's often the starting point, understanding what is held where, how it can be accessed, and whether the structure is likely to support the retirement they have in mind. I'm Stephen Pitcher, Senior Partner at St James's Place. Thanks for watching.